All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Finished my workout, got my vlog recorded, haven't put it up yet. Had my post-workout shake, but not had my real food or first meal of the day. And I thought, let me sit down. Let's do a little Q&A with my people because this midday one yesterday actually did really, really well, did better than the breakfast chats. So, I thought, what the heck? Let's come in and just work on it. Let's see if we can get a good one again. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But in the meantime, it gives me something to do, get some extra content up, do some stuff, interact with my people before I eat breakfast. Because really, most of my important work is done for the day. I've got the vlog done, got the training done. I just need to make a few shorts, maybe do the afternoon Q&A. And I mean, I'm pretty well done unless I want to make like one more video. Clients are all in good places right now. Everyone's client sheets are up to date. So, again, other than social media, and this counts as social media, right? This counts as social media. We're pretty well done. So it's like, hey, good time. Let's just get in and check in on my people. But, as far as you guys will see the workout vlog, workout was really good. Right? Deadlifts didn't really go up, but I didn't feel like pushing it either. Like I left a little bit in the tank there. I got PRs on my pull-ups though. I got a PR on my tricep extensions. So it's kind of like I got a PR on the 225 bench press set. I mean, 1 rep PRs count, guys. A lot of the stuff is like, oh man, I picked up a 1 rep PR. I'm an advanced lifter, not bulking. I will take rep PRs all day long. Because I've also said, I want to get 20 reps with the 225 bench, right? And I don't mean fresh. I mean after squatting and after doing heavy benching. I'm at 18 now. I'll take the win. But as far as the bodybuilding thing, yeah, it's still a death cult. I'm still just kind of seeing the aftermath and all this stuff and seeing pictures from the Olympia. Wow, it's just gotten worse. It's worse and worse. It's worse and worse. And I think the problem is all of us who want to be health and fitness and other stuff, we get sucked into the nonsense because it's all in our feed. Everyone asks about it, as if we're supposed to care. But it's like there's going to be a point where just the fitness people, it's like, guys, we got to just reject this nonsense. And I feel like it's dying out a little. Like that 4th place, apparently the prize money went down quite a bit. So like Samson, who won the Olympia last year, only got $30,000. Made like 30 grand or something for the whole Olympia, or was it 50, whatever. It went down a significant chunk. So hopefully it's kind of dying out and social media itself is replacing it. Let's be fair. Bodybuilders can make way more money on social media than they can off of bodybuilding at this point, other than the sponsorships. Because I mean, when 4th place at Mr. Olympia, I'm making less money and I make off of it social media alone, not even talking coaching. It's like, it's getting pretty bad, guys. Mr. Olympia last year makes like 30 grand for 4th place the next year. Yeah, hopefully it's just kind of, this is a sign of the times. And the judges need to realize that. It's like I've had someone say, well, the cat's out of the bag. What do you expect them to do? Go back to D-Bowl only? Well, no, the judges still give, or who determine this stuff. OJ says they're the top level bodybuilders, no weight limit. Okay, but is it any better in the other classes? Can you objectively look at the 212, or can you look at classic bodybuilding, OJ, and tell me they look as good as the Golden Era guys? Can you go back and look at the 70s Mr. Olympia Open and look at classic today and tell me that the classic guys look as good? They don't. The shoulders are oiled up. They're too hard. They're too grainy, unhealthy level of dehydration. Too much oil in the shoulders. Yeah, the classic today, but look at the shoulders. There's so much oil. Like even C-Bum, man. I mean, he's like a 55-gallon drum of oil. Look at the shoulders. And this is what they're still promoting. And so again, I'm just telling people that if you really wanted it to appeal and get a larger appeal, They should really make it go back and look like the 70s. I'm not even saying go all the way back to silver era. I think health-wise, if they took it back to the silver era, these bodybuilders would be better off. And that would have mainstream appeal too. Okay, so go back and look at the 50s. Go look at Mr. Americas, Mr. Universes. Go look at those lineups in the late 50s or the early 60s, Oja, and go show that to people. Okay, show that to people and see what they say. People are going to say, like, wow, they looked amazing. Right? Alex, well, they look way worse. I mean, there's so much oil in Derek Lund. The arms, the lats, even his front lat, you can see the bulges of the oil in there from the side of it. He is shooting oil directly under the armpit. Like, what in the heck? I'm trying not to cuss. I'll try to cuss less. You see the problem there? Hit like, by the way, guys. Get those likes up. Come on. All right? But people don't want freaks on the stage. The people who they really need, if they really want diehard followers, don't want freaks on the stage. Right? They don't want freaks on the stage. We're at a point to where, to most people, you go look at the CrossFit Games, you look at the lineup there versus any of the divisions at the Olympia and ask people what looks better. And I think that's the problem. People say, well, we're not trying to get what looks good. We're trying to but isn't that what bodybuilding was supposed to be? And let's call it a freak show, because we're now at a point where people are saying, well, yeah, this division is more aesthetic. They'll talk about classic bodybuilding. It's not aesthetic at all. Less grotesque doesn't mean more aesthetic. I mean, what are we using as a metric here? Are you talking classic aesthetics, artistic aesthetics, classic Greek statue aesthetics? They used to define aesthetic as like Apollyon versus Herculean, even in the older bodybuilding, right? That was the reference that was used. An Apollyon physique versus a Herculean physique, and the Apollyon was the more aesthetic one. We've gone away from that, and it's gone over to quite frankly, it's a freak show. What's going on, Victor? And I'm talking, even the classic is still a freak show. They're not aesthetic. They're not aesthetic, and they've lost that. And I'm not saying that I'm the pinnacle of aesthetics. I'm not even a bodybuilder. I'm a strength athlete. I get plenty of compliments in person, though. I get plenty of compliments when out and about doing stuff, and even from friends and other people too. I get a lot of compliments, but I'm not a bodybuilder, so I don't even have a skin in the game on this. But I'm someone in the fitness world who's been watching it and who grew up inspired by a lot. Like, I was inspired by Arnold early on. I saw all the old school guys. I saw Reg Park and Bill Pearl and Steve Reeves, and these people had great physiques. They had physiques that normal people who are not part of the extreme bodybuilding world, would look at and say, wow, they look really good. Okay? The people would aspire to, people say, well, people don't want to aspire to look like body. Well, then it's lost what it's supposed to be. And I'm not saying it's possible. Look, guys, Reg Park had great genetics and was on a little bit of gear. I'm not saying they're going to reach that. Okay? But people would look at that and say, hey, I would like to look like that. Wow, that would be really good. That would be amazing. I wish that I looked like that. If we're going to talk about what bodybuilding was supposed to be, and it was intended as, before the freak show, it was physiques that normal people looked at and were inspired by. Those men got whole generations of men to start working out. Like the year later, people who became the serious bodybuilders would have even started without them. These were men who inspired thousands and thousands of young men to join a gym and work out for the first time, because they were like, wow, they look great. I wish that I could look like that. Maybe I should go work out. That's what bodybuilding should be doing. It should be inspiring people who don't lift to say, you know what, damn, I need to get to the gym. I want to look like that. But those guys were all fit. They were all athletic also, weren't they? It wasn't this freak show, right? It wasn't this freak show. The judges know, Steve, aesthetics is a meaning in the English language, Steve. No, the judges don't define what aesthetics is. The judges define the judging criteria for bodybuilding by category. Now, the problem is they don't stick to it. So, Steve, they lie about it. I remember when the IFBB said they were going to start scoring down and stop handing wins to insulin gut. They were going to stop handing wins to obvious site enhancement. Yet, when you look up there, every single dude in the lineup. So if they stop handing wins out for that judging criteria they said they were going to do even back then, they'd have to kick every guy out. They'd have to see like nobody here even qualifies to win. We have to kick you all out and get a whole new batch of guys. Because the entire lineup doesn't meet the criteria. Okay. So especially the site enhancement, because the site enhancement's out of control even in classic bodybuilding still. Again, perfect example, take Chris Bumstead. Ridiculous amounts of oil in his shoulders for his whole career, and yet they can't hand it in first place. For classic, not even open. So you can't say you're going to score down site enhancement when the dude's got 2 inches of fake muscle in every delt sticking out. You know, his delts would be 2 inches narrower per side if he wasn't pinning them directly. So do you see the problem with that? You know, Sampson dropped to 4th chasing aesthetics. Now, granted, he did come in with a smaller, I mean, I'll give credit, the dude had a smaller waist and he probably has less oil in his shoulders than the other guys, but he lost. Yeah, he took 4th place. No, they all had the pokey delts. They all have it, OJ. I don't think you've been around enough actual people who don't shoot their delts to understand. Okay, look at Arnold's proportions of his chest versus his shoulders. Arnold didn't shoot his delts. Therefore, compared to all the classic guys who are like, he had small delts. No, he just didn't inject his delts. He had just as much muscle in his delts. He just didn't have any oil. So do you understand the difference now? So go back and look at the 70s. A lot of those guys at the same size as these other guys and same weights and size didn't have the big round delts. They were not injecting their delts. They were only lifting weights and using steroids for their delts, right? All of their delt size came from weightlifting plus anabolics in their bloodstream. What bodybuilder in bodybuilding history has the most grotesque physique? I mean, who won? Or are you just talking about grotesque physiques everywhere? There's tons of them. I don't know. I'd have to go look. They're all pretty bad right now, Joe. I mean, even grotesque would be the guy who just won. Literally, the guy who just won, Derek. That's grotesque. Derek Lungsford or whatever won again. Remember when Nicola and I did when he won that last time I rode Nico? Right? We talked about all the oil in his lats, and even Nico's like, he's a disgusting bag of oil. Nico has a pro card in bodybuilding. My friend Nico and I, who I've known for 20 years, we did a sit down and did a Skype, and it's uploaded here. Nicola has a phenomenal physique, absolute genetic freak, 25 years of training. His fat-free mass index is like 25.7 or something when he's competed. So at contest lean. So he's still under the 25, but he has a natty pro card, phenomenal physique, really crazy strong dude. who's won a bunch of natural pro shows, like tested. And he says the same thing. He's like, I don't even want to do that. He quit competing even in natural because he's just like, there's problems with it. I'm just done. But he said the same thing. He's like, the guy's a giant bag of oil. You can see it in his lats. And I said the same thing. We were talking about the oil in Derek's lats. Like, it's just very pronounced. Are the bodybuilding shows just mainly gay men or women? I'm not sure. I don't think there's many women in there. Instead, if deters people from working out, honestly, it promotes people. Yeah, no, it's not promoting people training. Whereas what did old school bodybuilders do that? Again, guys like Steve Reeves. So look at these generations. First Steve Reeves, next generation Reg Park, next generation Arnold. And they were all heroes of each other. Like Reg, said that Steve Reeves was his hero. Arnold said that Reg Park was his idol, and he came about a decade after him into the scene, right? Each one of those guys inspired an entire generation of men to work out. Like, if it were not for them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, any of us here, okay? They were all strong and athletic too. They were all healthy. So what did, think about Steve Reeves. People say, well, bodybuilding was never about health. Really, you didn't hear what Steve Reeves went on and on and on about taking care of your health and being fit and doing cardio and eating your vegetables and avoiding junk and avoiding putting poisons in your body. Steve Reeves harped on that stuff and was the top ranked bodybuilder in the world like 3 years in a row. He kept winning the Mr. Universe. He made it to Hollywood, was in movies. Okay. He was like 1958 Mr. Universe. He absolutely pushed and said, health first, fitness first. He was an avid runner. He did all his lifting and he looked phenomenal, but he was Mr. Universe, Yeah. Do you think I think you and Alejandro are right because these guys are getting into the gym, following guys on social media and hop on gear with very little experience. Yeah. So, but Steve Reeves, you go back and so look up Steve Reeves, and he promoted health. That was an ambassador for bodybuilding. That dude was vegan that died. I'm not sure who, or the Indian guy. I haven't seen it. But yeah, perfect example though. The guy promoted health and fitness while still winning the Mr. Universe in the late 50s. He looked great. Everybody today would look at Steve Reeves and go like, yeah, he has a nice body. He looks good. Dudes would look at Steve Reeves and go, I want to look like that. Women would look at Steve Reeves and go, I want to touch that. Right? He did it. And he got up and used to say, hey, guys, your health is everything. He was one of those health is wealth guys. What happened to that? What happened to that? What's up, Jason? What's going on, Ryan? Jason, I really don't get it because women don't find it attractive. Female bodies even more bizarre. Watching the Dark Knight trilogy and your closest person in real life to you is Bruce Wayne. He died of cardiac arrest. Wow. Well, I'm a Devon, England. Did you ever visit when you lived in the UK? I don't think I made it to Devon. I'm trying to think of notable places, different cities I've visited in England, not necessarily other countries, because I really like Cardiff. I definitely made it to Birmingham. I made it to Exeter. The Exeter Cathedral was amazing, by the way. I got a bunch of pictures and stuff while I was in there. Dudes, like, I love the Exeter Cathedral, but I don't think I made it to Devon. Where was that? Down on the southeast coast. We went down there, but we didn't stop along the way. I wouldn't say that was a nice town though, where that powerlifting meet was held. Scope on the Water or something, whatever it was called. That wasn't really a nice place. Exeter was nice, but the Exeter Cathedral really stuck out. Now, Birmingham, I went for a couple of events. Obviously, I went for an expo, then I went for at least one powerlifting meet where I judged at. So I got my certification to judge meets. I wouldn't necessarily Birmingham was not particularly nice. Exeter was nice though. I liked Exeter. No, I wouldn't consider female pro bodybuilders as trans. And a lot of female pro bodybuilders don't look like that. They all see them. You'd be surprised how they look. Oh, 12 miles from you. Okay, so it's right there by Devon. So then I've been through there. Yeah. I mainly remember the cathedral in Exeter. Like it just really stood out. So you're right there by that. You have a really great piece of history right there. You know, like that's actually a place worth visiting if you're going to go through the UK. You get the dole. No, I didn't call it, dude. I was on a marriage visa. You're not allowed to get anything like that. So my actual visa literally says on it, no recourse to public funds. It's specifically in the terms of my visa. So, okay, so anyone, I'll disprove that right now. Let me see if I can find it. And anyone who's making that claim, I can completely disprove it with legitimate paperwork. Hold on. Okay. So anyone who wants to make that sort of stupid ass claim, right here, see this line on my visa, all right? My entry clearance, right here. My indefinite leave to remain. Okay. No recourse to public funds. In plain English, on a legal document from the British government from when I lived there. All right. That was, you guys clearly see it? Go look up what that means. That means it is illegal while I was in the UK for me to get any form of dole or welfare benefits. It was illegal for me to do so from your government. So, all right. So I would have been deported had I tried. Okay. All right. Now back over. What? No, I didn't. So now that being said, you guys saw that. No recourse to public funds. Yeah, but you guys didn't, you wouldn't be able to get the thing running, so we're good. All right. Definitely not with what you guys can see through here. I'm very aware of what quality you can get through this. So again, people need to stop silly nonsense like that. All right. Ronnie Tapper in here. Steve Reeves died at 70 in 2000. He was also said Mr. America in 1947. Personal training, not for facilities, on being Wayne Newton, right? Yep. Yeah. So, but again, Steve Reeves. I mean, so that was what bodybuilding used to be. All right, that's what bodybuilding used to be. What happened? So, and I kind of show that because that's been one of the claims of people from the UK who claim to hate me. They're like, you were getting the dole from my country while you were here. My paperwork literally says I'm not allowed to get any. It's like stamped on it. So, oh, they still go on and on about it, Mike, nonstop. Hey, coach, how do you deal with missed opportunities? What do you mean? There's always opportunities with women. What are you talking about? Okay, you don't know who Steve Reeves was? He was the first famous bodybuilder, first professional bodybuilder to make it into Hollywood movies. Was Mr. America in the 40s, right? I have multiple guitars worth $2,000+ range each. But I bought them with food stamps, Mike. That's how it works. I think the real truth, people like Steve Reeves because it's easy to get. Are you sure that it's easy to get to that physique? Then how come everyone doesn't look like it? Now there's training footage. Just we don't work. Well, how would they get the training footage? I mean, keep in mind, even Arnold's era, much later, you realize they had to have big cameras, right? So even my early days, I think the younger guys forget that. They're like, how come you don't have training footage from your 20s? When younger guys say that, I just kind of have to stop and go, wow. I don't know, because I didn't want to carry a big ass camera around and have a person have to carry it. It's like people are so spoiled with technology. We all have cameras now. I've never seen a smaller guy get bullied at the gym. I don't know. So how could I stand up for something that doesn't really happen? I've never seen this nonsense. I've never even seen this. I think you guys just make up stuff. I don't know what sort of gyms you go to. Maybe I'll need to go to actually serious gyms. These things don't happen at real gyms. I don't know what sort of weird high school gyms you guys go to, but in actual gyms, serious gyms, the sort of stuff people describe doesn't actually happen. Right? Could you imagine walking in there? I mean, think about that. So when you go back, we're talking 24, 25 years ago, guys, 23 years ago, right? Smartphones didn't exist. They didn't exist. They were not invented yet. I had a Nokia brick. You guys have never seen the little memes about the little brick from Nokia? They're like they're indestructible. That's what I had. Like when we texted, you had to, for each thing, you had to hit the button 2 or 3 times for each letter through the numbers. So for you to send a 1 sentence long text took 5 minutes. Yeah, we had camcorders with a VHS in it, right? But I didn't know anybody who had a digital camera like that you could just, we didn't have all that, bros. So I don't know what that is. That was back when it was $1. Yeah, they used to charge. Yes, I knew not a lifter. Okay, well that's okay, Nathan. So Steve Reeves, old school bodybuilder, right? Right, old school bodybuilder. So think back, yeah, there wasn't really. I've never seen any footage really of Steve Reeves training. He only wrote about it, He wrote about his training. Max, so you guys know each other in real life, or y'all bros, y'all homies. What's up? Or do y'all know each other from some group, some troll group or something? Everyone think modern bodybuilders look pretty cool. It's like, I don't. I'm not a fan, man. I'm not a fan. I think bodybuilding has lost its way. And think about this, the health of them dying. All right. I haven't had my carbs yet. I've had a protein shake. I haven't had my food. I'm waiting to eat breakfast here. I know Nate from way back. No, I don't think. Sam's already suffering health issues. So I said that a while back. We need to quit talking about all my personal life and non-fitness stuff currently. So we're not going to discuss what carbs I like at all. I'm a YouTuber, just not lifting related. What sort of content do you do, Nathan? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to go check your channel out. You don't have any content. No. It says you don't have any content, Nathan. I just checked. What's up? No, Sam is not aesthetic. Sam already has signs of chest cavity inflammation a couple of years ago, or a year ago. His channel is called The Cheeky Verse. All right. Let's check out The Cheeky Verse. I don't see a channel called The Cheeky Verse at all. It must not be separate words. Using greens for your pull-ups could help your shoulders. No, that actually went really bad when I used it before. I mean, you can ask my personal opinion of things, just don't ask me about my life. So, hey, Philip, I'm just going to get rid of you. Actually, I'm going to leave you, but don't ask me about all my personal life offline. I try to keep it all private. I need to make an official rule so that everyone knows and they can't claim they don't know. As soon as I make a community post, then it's fair game, no warning. All right. But no, beautiful. The rings didn't pan out too well when I used them for pull-ups before. Yeah, I'm being lenient with the Capals today. Well, this is a shorter one in the middle of the day. The afternoon, I go harder on Capals, like that's where we get a troll storm. So we get rid of them. I'm going to be lenient today. Kind of chill. Let's finish training, man. I'm kind of like in that mellow down phase. Client lesson update. New clients, Chad. What's up, bro? New clients will always try to add exercises to basic novice programs or question why they do so few exercises. Yes, they do every single time. Kapow! And you're out of here, Philip. All right. Yep. Shake and bake. There we go. He's out of here. Wow. Nathan, I believe it, man. Honestly, if you really have a channel with an outreach, I believe it. People really are that insane. They are that insane. And I think a lot of people who chime into streams or channels don't realize this. They have no clue. So if you really do have a channel with live streams, I actually believe that. Yep. Like I deal with the same level of stupidity. So or from lengthy sets of Kapow presses, right? Before. This is actually just from doing all my pulling without straps. Again, I remind people I do not have good forearm genetics. I had little bitty skinny ass forearms when I started. Squats went well today. Cool. Glad they went well, Scott. I'll have my vlog up here shortly. My squats went okay too. Reps are going up. Right. But I might go ahead and wind this one down. I'm going to do a long one this afternoon, but I need to get the vlog up. I need to get my normal first meal in for the day. I've only had a protein shake. So I'm going to end the Facebook. And I will catch you guys later. I'll give you a Mount Biceps before we go. Oh, Mount Biceps. And we're out.